Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Do we have to give up all of our favorite foods? Let's get started and talk about it. Today we're going to chat about the food police and what food's healthy, what food's not, and do we need to give up all of our favorite foods to lose weight and sustain a healthy lifestyle? You guys know I'm not a doctor or nutritionist. Those of you that have been with me since January 1st of 2023, I am on a journey to lose a minimum of 60 pounds this year, and then in 2024, see what goal weight would be a good one for me. I'm not a medical professional or nutritionist, so always consult your doctor. This video is just kind of some feelings that I'm having about this topic. So let me get started. I think personally, in my opinion, one of the most harmful things that we can do is labeling foods as good or bad. What I've started kind of doing in my own life, and I think this is a wise choice, is when we want to look at some of the healthiest people that we know that have either never been overweight or have kept their weight off for a long time, and also people that are senior citizens that are living a longer, healthier life and doing things correctly, and we see them feeling good and making good food choices. It's good to learn from other people's positive examples, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I know I've mentioned this before, but many people that I know of that are not overweight or haven't struggled with their weight, or they've kept their weight off for a long time, they don't have a bunch of no foods. They eat whatever they want. They just eat in moderation, and 90% of their eating plan is healthy. 10% are some foods they might enjoy. I'm going to give you a cute little story. My dad told me this weekend, he said, you know what? I was really craving an apple pie. He went out and bought a great big apple pie from Costco. He said, I wanted apple pie for dinner, so I had it. My dad's 85, not overweight at all, and not on any medication. So, guess what? He got a piece of apple pie, and he had a nice size. He goes, yeah, and I had a big one too. After he had that piece of apple pie, he portioned out all the other pieces of apple pie, and he shared them with neighbors. He said, okay, I had my treat. There is nothing wrong, in my opinion, for many of us, depending on the person, because I know each person is an individual, and what's good for one may not be a good choice for someone else. But for many people, it's okay to have a piece of cake. It's all right to have that. My husband bought this beautiful piece of cake, and if anyone wants to know, no, actually, I haven't had any of it. But is there anything wrong with enjoying a piece of cake? I personally, for me, it wouldn't bother me to have a piece of cake. What was my issue in the past was that I would have 2 or 3 pieces, and then I would keep eating that stuff, and I would eat it late at night, which was not healthy for me. Is there anything wrong with having a Pop-Tart? Personally, I think every now and then it's okay, but minimizing all of those types of foods is better to eat something that is going to nourish our body. Obviously, a Pop-Tart and a piece of cake, in my opinion, may not do that. But also you've got your folks out there that will say cottage cheese is really good for you. My doctor, for example, thinks cottage cheese is a good choice. Some that don't eat dairy may not think it's a good choice. Bread, many people, and I know this is white bread, but just any loaf of bread, think bread is the enemy because it's carbs. Carbs are bad for you unless it's maybe a low glycemic carb, such as a berry or maybe a green vegetable, leafy green vegetable. They think that all these things are bad. Okay, so it depends on the person. Also, I want to share with you that many people make comments about pop. I think we can all agree that if you are thirsty, it'd be much better to drink a glass of water, filtered water, versus drinking a can of pop, right? We all know that. But let's take this. Take somebody that eats a terrible diet. They eat a bunch of sugar, a bunch of junk food. They drink regular pop. They eat like 3 or 4 of these. They'll eat a box of this in a day. Take that person and have them slowly start making changes. They go from eating a box of this a day to maybe 1 a day. They go from having 8 Cokes a day down to maybe 1. Now, I'm not saying that that is the best choice, but I kind of look at better or good, better, best. So many people that I've known of, Nicole Collette is a good example, same with her husband Kyle, they've slowly made changes over the 8 years where it's something that they feel that they can manage and sustain that lifestyle. So wherever I am right now, I know that I could do better than what I'm at. I'm hoping that over the next several years, I'm going to keep getting better and better and keep making more and more choices. I've seen people, for example, on the keto eating plan that have done that. They start off making the keto desserts and having protein shakes and maybe, you know, some of the protein bars. But they do that at the beginning because it kind of helps them along the way, starting the journey. But as they're going along, they all of a sudden start eating a, quote, cleaner eating plan. They're not doing the protein shakes and the bars anymore. They're actually cooking and preparing more of their meals, eating more avocados, eating more, you know, kale, things like that. I think each of us are different on what works for us. I know for me, I didn't make a bunch of drastic changes in 2023. What I'm doing right now is tracking and working on eating in a calorie deficit, working on keeping under 125 carbs a day. Could I do better? Yes. Would it be better if I never ate a dessert or sugar, never ate a piece of bread again, probably, like a piece of white bread, never drank any pop again? It would probably be fantastic. And maybe I'll get there someday. But as of for right now, I'm just making small sustainable changes and also going to TOPS, which is taking off pounds sensibly. Many of you know I'm in it. And doing that, I just know for me, it is very harmful for me to say, you can't have that. These are all the bad foods. Because it reminds me of when I was overweight as a teenager and there were foods that were no-nos and foods that were okay. And for me, it just is very, I don't hate to use the word triggering if I feel like I am being punished. When I feel like I can have whatever I want in moderation, that's something that I can live with. This is where I'm at now. Maybe I'll feel differently 6 months from now. This is an individual journey for each and every person, just like your finance journey, any journey in life. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are there some favorite foods you love that, quote, are supposedly bad for you, but you do enjoy in moderation? I know this for me. I want to continually make small improvements, but I want to make sure when I make them, it's something I can sustain for the rest of my life, because my plan is that when I lose this weight, whatever amount that I do end up losing and keeping off, that I'm going to do it for life so I can improve my health. And I want to make sure that I can sustain that weight loss by making good choices, but not being too overly strict where I feel like I'm being punished. That's what I'm going to leave you with today. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. I'd love to hear from you. I know we all have different opinions. And so everyone just share your opinions in the comments below. I'll be anxious to read them. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and I sure hope to see you on tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye.